back to the south.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd do it if I was on the Barbie.
Across where Andrew's at here. And what is this little marker here? Is that a... So we got greater than 58 here?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's blowing across the road there. So 50 to 70, 60 to 70 blowing across the road right where Andrew's at. So Raymond Road is this road right here. This is the edge of the polygon here, but if I get out of the way, we'll see. So here's Raymond, and he is basically right here. So these are the winds that are blowing across here. These are more continuous winds. So he's at Raymond Road and Highway 77, which is right through here. Just north of him is where the Weather Service has their warning polygon, and if they widen out again here, Holly, you'll see, we'd never like to see that, but this is an area where there's some lift going on still within the thunderstorm, and that probably right there around Ceresco is the tornado, or if there is still a tornado occurring. So if he gets north of that, he's going to be close to this tornado circulation. We don't want him to get in there. We'd like to have him stay right through here. Boy, I really worry what's going on in Ceresco right now, kind of within this tornado circulation, Holly.
Bill, we've seen a continuation now of the tornado warning again until 7 o'clock, capable of producing a tornado. It's radar indicated, but like we've been saying, this storm has the potential to easily produce a tornado anytime. So we've already had several reports and could easily see this drop another tornado.
Yeah, and it may well be right now. Maybe it lifted. Hopefully it lifted as it was getting to Ceresco here. It didn't get into the community itself, but there is some open space here in Saunders County. It's tracking in this direction here, but eventually we're going to get into southeast. There's, again, a lot of farmland out through here, farmsteads. We hope nobody gets hit from this storm. There's going to be a lot of large hail. Unfortunately, that may do some crop damage too as it comes across Saunders County. And then, it's going to cross the Platte River. Now, Adrian is south of Mahoney State Park along the interstate here. Where did he get off the interstate here? Adrian, you're talking to us, right?
No, we're off the interstate. We're not driving. We're just kind of stopped right here at Minot Road and Highway 63, and everything is still. It seems to be well north of us. At least for the time being, but the wind is starting to pick up a lot. It's probably gusting about 35 or 40 miles an hour, which is not what it was doing about 5 or 10 minutes ago. And I can feel it rushing in. It's almost like when you're standing in a wave in the ocean. I can feel it rushing in under my feet from the east. And it seems like it's coming to meet this front. So, again, still some of that lightning that we were seeing earlier. The sky is noticeably darker, and just above me it's starting to get darker and has that greenish tint, but we're not really feeling very much rain, and I'm not seeing hail or any rain in this immediate area at the moment.
So, Adrian, so just to humor me, you got off the interstate, and which way did you go on 63 then from the exit?
We're just north. We're at it's the Cenex gas station just off I-80. I believe it would be the Greenwood exit.
Okay, so you went all the way down there.
So
Great.
we're just, we can be on the interstate in a matter of a couple of seconds or heading toward the acquisition.
That should be a pretty good spot then. So that's a great vantage point to watch this storm keep on tracking through Saunders County here, and
Bill,
again moving up into
we're getting a report now coming through the National Weather Service chat room, and this actually comes from a storm spotter, but they did report in the Garland area significant damage to several homes. So no injuries to report right now. One home lost the entire side, so lost an exterior wall. So that's the tornado that we were talking about a little bit earlier.
Right, that's back in Seward County, right? Mm-hmm. So if you just want to so we can just show everybody where that was at, where relation is to where we're at right now. So this is where we think there's a possible tornado or the rotation. Garland's back down here, north of Malcolm, actually west of Malcolm. So Garland is back here into Seward County, I believe, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so again, that was damage that occurred. We'll see if we can find Garland on the map here.
Actually, both southwest here.
There you go. So here's Garland, and again, that's where the storm was. Might have been a half hour, 40 minutes ago, but kind of tracked right up through here and now continues. Kind of went to near Agnew, and then here it is right about Ceresco and through here. Now, it may not be tornadoing right now. I mean, it could be. Maybe we'll get lucky and this thing will weaken, but we really worry that this front edge will keep on wrapping up because Adrian, I mean, he's down here and he's got these really strong southeast winds. So we're using the velocity data from the radar up in Valley. So these winds feeding in, just let's sample some of these, Holly. I mean, this stuff is out here. Let's see what we got here. Around Ashland, 30. 41, 58. That's wind blowing in here into this thunderstorm.
And the wind, obviously, we've had a lot of moisture. You can feel the humid consistency to the air. I mean, that's just fuel for these kind of thunderstorms, that buoyant, warm air.
Andrew's right here. Andrew Ozaki is there just south of where this tornado circulation looked like it was going towards Ceresco. Andrew, you still there with us?
Yes, I am, and I've been kind of following a storm spotter who has been kind of leapfrogging, kind of going ahead, and I figure if I'm right behind him, he's probably got a lot more, weather forecasting things on his vehicle right now. He's saying he has pulled over the side. I'm just a few miles away from Ceresco. The wind has picked up quite a bit. Every once in a while, I mean, it literally throws you on the side of the road, and so it's not a constant wind, but all of a sudden, just sudden wind bursts back and forth. Now I'm starting to get a little bit heavier rain. And that's, I guess, the biggest concern is you really can't see anything in this. But you do feel that the breeze, the wind is picking up quite a bit.
Andrew, that wind is coming from the west, right? That's coming across the road to you?
It is coming from the west, blowing extremely hard. And like I say, at this particular time, I'm just going to hunker down here and then try to get into Ceresco as soon as I can to see if there's any damage in Ceresco.
Very good. And it almost looked like if there was going to be some, it was kind of on the south edge, like maybe this went
No, dude,
along the
stay
county
with the
line of
storm.
Lancaster and Saunders here, near Ceresco and just south of there. It looked like if that was the circulation. And now that is up east of Ceresco, sort of in the southeast part of Saunders County where it's pretty rural, pretty sparsely populated. Hopefully it stays there, and we hope that this thing will weaken, but we're not convinced that that's going to happen. I mean, obviously there's still a lot of inflow here, southeast wind, northeast wind, all kind of coming together here. So
we're
easily a
missing
tornado
Dancing
could
with the
continue to
Stars.
spin up in this area just to the east of
I know.
Ceresco now. Really strong
isn't this
winds here, really
bullshit?
strong winds there. It can come together really quickly. It can be doing nothing.
And I tried going to the other
low
channels,
clouds, and then bam, all of a sudden
I can't
you
even
can be
get
out here and
Family
this
Guy
funnel can
because
form
they're
out
all
of nowhere,
talking
it would
about
seem.
this
But
fucking goddamn
that's why we're
tornado.
tracking it. That's why we're telling you here. I mean, if you're in Ceresco,
What the fuck?
it appears that the
just never
tornado
gets any
circulation
better,
area
does
of this thunderstorm is past you.
It might.
Holly, let's go velocity on this though, and just make sure. See, I'm really worried that
It
back
could
in through
redevelop
here,
back to the southwest, especially with the way it's been cycling today. It
Yeah.
seems very likely that's a
So-
possibility.
you got to stay in safe shelter if you're in Ceresco here. Don't come out of your basement yet here. I mean, looking at the way the storm has gone, this maybe, who knows, maybe that weekends and it reforms right here. We saw where Dave Roberts was. Let's widen out. Is there still
Oh,
a
they're
tornado
running the
warning back
trains
down
out.
into Seward County and northern
They know
Saline County?
something's going on.
That one has actually been allowed to expire, Bill, so that's
Great.
That's great news.
Oh,
so-
I don't see
We do
any
have a lot of
birds
people
out.
that are calling in and they're asking us, they want to know, when is this going to be in Omaha? When can we expect this into the metro? We can go ahead and put a loop on our, this would be our in-house model. We can go ahead and show that from our high-res model here, and basically we'll run this through over the next couple of hours. You see that line of storm just west of the metro. That's what's moving in right now. There's 7 o'clock, there's 7:30. It's in the metro. 8 o'clock, and then as we head toward later on, it starts to push into portions of Pottawatomie County, 8:30, 9 o'clock, we're really pushing into portions of western Iowa. By 10 o'clock, it looks like things are quieting down here in the metro area, so that's kind of the time frame that we're looking at here over the next couple of hours. Obviously, this storm's knocking on our doorstep, Bill. It's going to be here within the next hour, hour and a half, so our model may even be a little bit slow.
Right, but I hope folks,
Well, shit,
at home
I'm gonna
realize
have
that
to
it's-
switch
It's a
cameras.
computer model. It's
Yeah.
a forecast trying to project where this storm is going to be going. And I think if you saw, it has it tracking northeast. It actually is a little farther north than where the storm has been. I mean, it has it kind of going up here through Fremont and Blair, and probably the updraft part of this thunderstorm, it really looks like it's tracking right up into the Omaha metro here. This is super strong outbound, really strong inbound winds right in through, really strong southeast winds, and so it's really right in there in southeast Saunders County.
Bill, Matt's been doing a little meta-analysis. It's basically a fancy word for kind of looking at the situational awareness here.
Yeah.
Where's that warm front that we were talking about earlier? And it looks like it has lifted even a little bit further north. We've got southeasterly winds in Plattsmouth, so that's a sign that the boundaries probably moved north of there now. This storm has been following that warm front over the last couple of hours, and that's been our concern. How far north does that boundary get, and does it get into the metro and bring the storm right into our area?
Right, and if they're coincident, if the storm is there with the boundary, it's a bad sign, because then it's easier for a tornado to occur, and one for it to occur and to last. So, that is wonderful information to have. We don't want to hear that. We were really hoping that maybe this morning's thunderstorms were pretty strong. As they went through, they did push cooler air into Omaha and push the warm, humid air farther south. But it's taken a long time, and there is this southeast component, so that warm, humid air is sort of feeding back up in here. So it's possible that area where the winds are coming southeast and coming east, where it can get the atmosphere rolling in the low part of the atmosphere, is back up now into Cass County, possibly Sarpy County. So as this thing keeps coming east, we'll see. This current warning goes till 7 o'clock, right?
That's right. We've just had a continuance. Still radar indicated at this time. The area of most concern, 9 miles south of Wahoo. So again, that particular area that we've been watching now northeast of Ceresco.
Yeah, and obviously there's nothing you can do at this point but just kind of sit and watch and wait for this to see, will it rain itself out? Will some new storms fill in here, or will this thing keep going? All right, so Andrew Ozaki is all the way up to near Ceresco now?
I am still heading in towards, I think, lots of heavy rain now.
Yeah.
I am just, like I say, just a few miles to the south of Ceresco, and I'm kind of getting like turns of rain. So I'm going to pull over here because I can barely see right now, but maybe about 10 feet in front of me. And the wind, like I say, is really picked up. The rain is really coming down hard now.
Yeah, that's a great idea to
Well, I'm
stop
still
there and
driving.
just kind of wait and see what we got, because
I
there's
can only
just
see 10 feet in
you can't
front of me.
see, and there's still a potential there where that thing could wrap back up. Look at the wind blowing the rain across the road. My goodness. So here it is right here, and again, gosh, look at that, Holly. Here we are, really strong northeast winds.
And that's actually looking up even a little bit higher into the storm. So it's a good indication that this rotation extends the height of the thunderstorm.
Which is bad, because it can then, even if it at the surface, if it briefly weakens, it can really redevelop quickly at the surface. So here we are. There's Ceresco. This is the storm relative velocity.
This is storm relative
So
here.
let's go. That's 74 or greater outbound. And this is, let's see, 58 next to 41, and then this is the greater than 74 up here. So really, really strong winds with this thing. Obviously, where they're right next to each other, that's kind of our biggest concern. And I'm also concerned because it's kind of stretched out through here, right? There's a whole, 4 or 5 mile area there where possibly there could be a tornado. It could be here. It could be all the way back by Ceresco. So hopefully Andrew stays just south of there until this thing passes.